All right, so we're going to be dimensioning these 5 blocks. They're all drawn in inches, so you don't got to worry about that. And they have some different directions like baseline, continuous, baseline, unilateral. We don't have to worry about aligned because this software is not going to let us do aligned. So they'll all be unilateral. Might have to go to properties to change this, but that's okay. I'll do it quick. Boop, boop, ba-doop, boop, ba-doop. So they're all going to be unilateral in the way they're oriented. So I'm just going to start out, and it's going to be some different stuff because all 5 of these are here, and they're all different components. But so I want to select the ones I'm going to bring over, or I could just select one at a time. But I'm going to do a B-size sheet, and I'm going to actually create multiple sheets. So when I'm bringing this in here, like, see how I have all 5, and they're all oriented in their front view. I can plop them all in there like that. After I get them in, I can actually turn off which ones I want to be dimensioning, so I can do these one at a time. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to double click. I do want to show the hidden lines. And let's say this is 1-to-1 on a B-size sheet of paper. That's probably fine. I could fit these onto an A-size sheet of paper as well, so maybe we should be doing that. So I'm just going to come in here quick and change the sheet settings. Let's go with an A, 11 by 8.5. Okay. So A-size sheet of paper, this should be good. Title this shape 1 and change the project shapes to be dimensioned. I'll just change the shapes to dimension. This shape 1 is by me. Yours will be by you. Oof. Wow, I messed that up. Finished. This should be locked onto that corner. Okay. And I got my shape here. I need my views, obviously. Remember, we project all 3 of the views, and then if we don't use one, we get rid of it. I got my views in there. The isometric should always be solid with no hidden lines. So, moving on. Let's see what we got. Okay, so just going in here, I'm going to start my dimensioning off, do the contours for this one. So I'm going to do, this is a contour right here, so I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do the overall as well. So I'm dimensioning these on their contours respectively. Don't like where that plopped, so I'm just going to move it off to the side, and this looks good for this. And then I still need this dimension, and since this dimension is on the contour up here, and since I can't do the hidden lines, I will just do this one dimension like so. Okay. And I'm going to drag this to here. Oops. And we want to keep it straight, not all wonky like that. I don't want that. Let's try this again. From here to here. Yes, like that. Good. And I changed it because I like, you should have the gap here. That is proper procedure. Okay, so moving on. This is all the length dimensions I would need. I'm going to add the height dimensions going forward. So here's one, and then here is the other. And I'm going to have one more on the other side, respectively. So just as I did before, I'm going to move that on the inside. And then I still have a height dimension for here. I've got kind of 2 ways to go about that. I could do it from here down, or I could do it from here up. The method of your choosing is kind of unimportant for that, but getting it in there is important. And then we've got this area, which the contours are on this view, and we got this area, which the contours are on this view. We could try to do them all off of one view, but I think it would be more appropriate if we use the contours on this one to do that one. And then on this one, if we do some baseline drawing for these respectively. So let me just adjust this over to the side here. And that would be an appropriate way to approach this. Okay, so everything's dimensioned, everything looks nice. That is sheet 1. And now to add sheet 2, I would click on sheet 2 and see it saves all of this information after I've done it once. So I can just change this one to shape 2. And now I'm going to go get my drawing. And I will drop my drawing in there. As we said before, 1:1 scale should be fine. Showing hidden lines, and I'm going to turn off all of the other ones. So I'm left with this one. Okay, so here we go. Let's project some views. 1, 2, 3. Click OK. Drag this down a little bit. We got a lot of hidden lines on this one. And here we go. So once again, I always do the contours, the view with the contours. So let's go right here. There's one. Whoops. Actually, I'll just baseline the other two. Is this a baseline? No, this is continuous. Okay, so for continuous, you do an overall, like so. And then you do continuous dimensions. Okay, so I'm going to drag that over there. It's fine. And then I will do another dimension like so. So that's continuous. I'm not going to drag these up through there, so I'm going to do these continuous down here. It's appropriate to do these down here because we do not want the drawing or the dimensions to be going up through the drawing. And once again, I'll move that over here. Okay, so that is the length dimensions. The height dimensions, let's start with the overall. Now for this, there's no way to avoid going through the drawing, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to go here to here. And then continuous drawing would dictate that I go from here to here. And then I don't have to do the top one because that's how math works. Zoom in, try to square this up a little bit better possibly. And I really don't like how that's working out. One thing I will say about this software is it does not do the best job making the dimensions pretty. I'm going to drop it on this side there. That's okay. And then I just need one depth dimension. So I can throw it either on the side view or the top view. And since this view does not have any dimensions, I can delete it. So 2 views is all that's required to get all the dimensions for this shape. All right, new sheet time. Shape number 3. All right, so let's see, what do we got for shape number 3? I'm going to bring all my views in here. Scale 1:1. I believe this is a big baseline one. I might even have to get rid of another view to make things work. So I'm going to move that over. I'm going to turn the other ones off. It is a big baseline one, so I'm going to do this view. I'm going to project all 3 of my views, although like I said, I don't know if I'm going to keep that. I don't know if I'm going to keep this view. And I want this to be shaded. There we go. Okay, so this is baseline, obviously. And to do baseline in this software, we would get the first dimension in there. And then after the first dimension, we would go to baseline dimension, and we'd click here, and then we just click every single point where we add another dimension. And as you can see, it's extending quite a ways up into the drawing, even stretching as close as I can. Like, this is as close as I would get to evening out. Now, I don't actually think I need any other dimensions on the top view, so I'm going to be able to get rid of the top view, which normally I'd wait till the end to do, but just because I know it's causing some issue, and we do have some issues here. None of them went in quite the right way, but since we've already seen that we can get rid of the top view, I'm going to go back to baseline, and I started here, and let's just get the rest of them in, and there we go. So like these, kind of move around a bit and make it look a little nicer. There we go. Okay. So this is baseline for the height, or for the length. I'm gonna do baseline again for the height, and go down to baseline right here. Grab that first dimension, and then go boom, and boom. Not as bad. And then after all that, I just need the depth, which is just one dimension. So there we go with the one dimension. Okay, so this is all the dimensions for shape 3. Hey, whoops. Sorry, I wanted to turn that off. I turned it on. I wanted to go to a new sheet. So shape 4. I'm going to zoom out. Bring my views in. 1 to 1. Turn all of these off. Left with this one. Projecting views. And this one involves some angles here. And it is asking for baseline. So we're going to do this with angles. So let's go to baseline. And on from here to here. And then I'm going to go from here to here. And from here to here. Okay. See if I can scoot this up a bit. And I'm going to get my height dimensions in here. Here to here. And then from here to here. Okay. And since I don't want to do this dimension, I'm going to do an angle in here. This angle will tell me how far I actually have to go with that. And actually, if I put in this angle, I don't need this dimension right here. If I put in an angle for this, and let's drag it over here. If I have this angle, it's going down 56 until it gets to this vertical line. That's fine. I could actually draw this shape, so I don't have to worry about that. There we go. That looks better. So 63 for this angle, 56 for that. And that gives us a minimum of dimensions. The top view shows more contours than the side view, so I'm going to use the top view for the depth dimensions. I move this in a little, and then I will just finagle this over. Okay, and that means I do not need this view. So I've got all of my length. I've got my one height that I need. I don't need this height here because I have this angle. So that 56 degrees tells me once I go 1.5, I make a 56-degree line. until it hits this line that will be at 2 inches. Same deal here. I don't need to know where this line goes because I just know I got to go over 1/2 inch and just draw a line at 63 degrees until it hits this baseline. So that's all good. And finally, let's do this circle thing. So shape 5. Zoom out. And this is the circle one, so there's some other stuff involved when we're doing a circle thing. And I think we only need 2 views for this, so I'm not even going to try to do the third. Do this one over here, and then this one up here. Make this solid, obviously. And we got to do some stuff. So, because it's a circle, I'm going to put a center mark in the center. I also have these holes around here that I do want to make sure that that is good. So I've got those circles center marked, and it did not take. Let's try this again. I think I might actually, I have to go maybe up all the way around for it to finish. Nope. Try it one more time. There we go. Shouldn't have clicked the other circle, just let it auto-complete the first time. And from here, we got a bunch of dimensions we need to do. So we need to first do the angle, which I don't want the end point, I want the actual, this line. It's giving me the diameter, which I'm not looking for. I want to get the line. Well, I can put the diameter here because we are going to need that. Possibly delete this to make this go easier. Dimensions, angle dimension. So I want from here to here. There we go. One. And then from here to here. We want these arrows to line up. So there we go. I don't need the third angle because obviously it's going to be whatever is required. And now I can go back in and I can throw some dimensions on here. So I'm going to get this circle and this circle with dimensions coming off of this point. But I do need to grab this circle's dimension right here. Okay, and this one, we've got to add a note saying that this is 3x typical. This is typical for all 3. Or I would actually probably say TYP 3x. That is telling us that this is happening 3 times. Okay. I also need some centerline bisectors here and here to indicate that is a centerline. And now to do dimensions on a circle of this nature, it looks like this. The overall is here and the other one's here. And this is indicating, 1, that they are circles, and 2, that they are proportionally stacked or concentric around that same center point. And I will, of course, put the center mark on the circle. So this is how you would dimension this. I'm missing the height dimensions, or the depth dimensions. So I still do need from here to here, and from here to here. And I'm just going to flop these on the inside of the drawing because I can. Actually, this one might be better on the outside. Try not to have that arrow hitting. This one should fit in the middle, which is preferable whenever you can get it there. Okay, so that is how to dimension all of these drawings. I don't need to find out what's new. Now, if you are lucky and you're on the desktop client, um, you can go to output, and you can output as a PDF, and you can do all of the sheets. And I'll even hit open so you can see what this looks like. I'm going to click OK. Untitled PDF. Let's see if this has errors. And here it's opening. And when you do that, it gives you all 5 of the sheets at the same time, and everything's fine. It's saying everything it should be saying. So we're good to go with this. If you do not have the ability to make the PDF and save it, you're going to have to take 5 screenshots. So that's the advantage of the PDF and the multiple sheets. If you do not have that, you'll have to take a screenshot. And when you do the screenshot, you should make sure it's saying like sheet 1 out of 5, sheet 2 out of 5, sheet 3 out of 5, because I want to make sure that you know that and that you're using the sheets properly. Just because you can't save them the way you'd like doesn't mean you should get out of doing it. Okay, so that is this video. Good luck.